We have had the saw for about 3 weeks. It arrived via delivery without any damage. Before purchasing this machine I researched Milwaukee, Hitachi, Freud, DeWalt, Makita, Festool and Jet saws. Here in Columbus we have a works store that features Festool and I was given a hands-on demonstration. At $1,400 it seems to be a great machine. But, the Bosch is also a great machine and there is a substantial price difference. My son and I have a cabinet shop and needed something to replace my 35-plus-year-old Makita Model 2400 110 inches miter saw. For some time we have been cutting off hardwood boards that were beyond the ability of the small saw to accomplish safely. For over a year one was considering this machine. But at $750 I wanted to be sure it was durable, accurate with repeatability and user-friendly. 2 months ago Works raised the price to $799. I had decided that it would be a good idea to purchase it before the price went up again. Then I found Amazon had the saw for $599 including delivery. I have purchased several machines from them, 15 inches jet planer, 14 inches jet lathe, 18 inches jet bandsaw, Bosch barrel jigsaw and others. All have arrived as promised without damage. So I have a high confidence factor with Amazon purchases. It was easy to spend this money on this saw. Others have criticized the weight, the noise, the inaccuracy, etc. I would like to comment on each of these points. Weight: the Makita 2401 weighs in excess of 50 hash. It was one of the first Japanese miter boxes to come to America. It has been virtually indestructible. The Bosch 12 inches saw weighs less. But because it is larger, there is a physical handling aspect that you should respect if you move it from site to site. It is certainly not as light as my son's DeWalt 12 inches box. Don't let negative reviews scare you. Accuracy: I have never purchased any piece of equipment that didn't require final adjustments. The factory settings are usually quite good out of the box. However, if you have to turn out superior work, each tool will require setup. Taking the time to go through the process provides you with knowledge of how to make the adjustments. It also allows you to understand when something is not right. Plan on spending 2 hours to make the needed adjustments to 1. The miter detent plate and 2. The vertical scale. The manual is well written and relatively easy to understand. I use the 4x4 cherry piece to adjust the horizontal and vertical cuts. I found that by adjusting the vertical indicator arrow to the left side it is easier to achieve a more accurate and repeatable angle adjustment since the vertical angle is not detented. Noise: the belt-driven saws, like the Hitachi, are quieter since there is no gear clash. The Bosch is extremely quiet in comparison to the Makita 2401. I wear hearing protection when using machinery but this saw is much more ear-friendly than other saws I have used. Cutting height on motor side: one review complained that the saw was limited to 4.5 inches in height on the motor side. Anyone who has ever used the old Rockwell sawbuck will remember the 7.5 inches blade. Yet we were able to make wide cuts and trim materials simply by taking advantage of the long range of motion when the workpiece is laid horizontally on the cutting table. The purpose of any SCM saw is to allow these cuts to be made by taking the time to understand the way to set angles in the flat plane. Cheat sheets are available on the internet to show you how to utilize this powerful aspect of the tool. If you do not intend to use this function, then this saw is not for you and you would do well to buy a DeWalt 12 inches miter saw. Kick from non-soft start motor: try an older saw like the Makita. You will quickly understand that this is nitpicking in the extreme. Safety switches: the saw has 2 safety switches on the top of the handle. You can cut from either side and find a easily located safety switch for either hand. Like any tool, there is a learning period. I know a man with 2.5 fingers missing who decided to defeat the safety switch on his miter box. Learn to use it. Table not flat: this table is flat. Unpublished measurements: I mounted this saw on the left side of my workbench. I had to wait until I had the saw in my shop to get the measurements needed to set the height to match the workbench. There is no way I would ever take a written measurement as something to set a critical height. From unpacking to setting the saw's mounting surface, bench, and setting the saw in place took less than an hour. The reviewer used this factor as a reason to knock down the rating. This is unreasonable and shows that the review is flawed and unreliable at best. Dust collection. There are few dust collection systems on any of the machines in my shop that would satisfy some of the ardent critics of this saw. Even the Festool at more than twice the price can't do that. Laser. Dim. If you are novice, then the laser is important to you. If you are a craftsman, you rely on your eyes. I have not found a laser that can be as sharp as my old eyes. Conclusion: this saw is the best of the type under $1,400. The works repair department is full of the Walt and Hitachi SCMs. The repair tech said that the Hitachi was the quietest and easiest to repair. The filled shelves speak volumes to me. Looking at the display models utilizing the two round tracks to support the sliding mechanism, I found side-to-side movement that was not present in the Bosch. I learned a lot about reading the various reviews, especially the writers who complained about things that are not really part of the machine. 90% favorable reviews to 10% disgruntled only proves you can't make everyone happy. If you need this type of machine, buy this one.